Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The government committed $10 million to address rural crime. Some welcome expanding crime reduction units and starting a paperwork processing centre, and others, like Red Deer County Councillor and Alberta Rural Crime Watch Director Jean Boda, want more work on issues surrounding crime. She said, "Let's look into the layers. We can't police our way out of the situation." To the Minister of Justice, is the government engaging with affected stakeholders and public up front, or has the government decided the details based on selective engagement? Is public engagement at the bottom of the list?
The Honourable Justice Minister and Solicitor General.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And in fact, we've been hearing about this issue from municipalities, from rural Albertans, from the RCMP, from people across this province for quite a while now, and that's why we think that it's time to act. We're absolutely open to hearing from people about their concerns. In fact, I just had an excellent meeting with a number of municipal leaders as well as some members of the opposition that I think was very productive on this issue. Mr. Speaker, we think it was time to act, and that's why we've taken the actions we do, but we're still open to hearing feedback from everyone.
First supplemental.
Given the government hasn't explained how the $8 million to hire 39 RCMP officers and 40 civilian staff and $2 million for up to 10 additional Crown prosecutors will achieve measurable results that address underlying issues, and given that preventing the issues that lead people to turn to crime to feed their drug habits has been proven to be more cost-effective, again to the Minister, Albertans want to know, where are human services, health and community-based wraparound supports in your plan to address the problem?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And of course, this is only one part of our plan. In fact, I've had multiple conversations with multiple different people around this. And in fact, our police partners keep telling us that many of these issues can't simply be enforced out of. That's why our government is absolutely committed to continuing funding to frontline healthcare services, to continuing to invest in mental health supports, Mr. Speaker. That's why we have continued that funding throughout government to social services, to health, to all sorts of departments, because we know that it's more cost-effective in that way, Mr. Speaker. I hope the honourable member will support the budget that does just that.
Supplemental.
Given experienced Crown prosecutors are needed to address the backlog of rural crime cases, and given the government's March 6th job posting for a chief Crown prosecutor in Wetaskiwin will cost Albertans over $180,000 a year, and given that Crown prosecutors are hired at $100,000 to $180,000 per year, again to the Justice Minister, which experienced Crown prosecutors can you hire for $100,000? If you're not hiring experienced Crown prosecutors, which senior Crown prosecutors do you plan to relocate to train junior prosecutors in rural Alberta?
Really good question. The Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And we've certainly heard from Albertans across the province that it's not enough simply to apprehend the criminals. We also need to have prosecutors in place. That's why we're working to increase that complement across the province. Mr. Speaker, certainly we've been working with the Crown Prosecutors Association. They do have some concerns about the wage freeze that's been in place, and we're having those conversations ongoing, Mr. Speaker. I think it's important that we're able to compensate these professionals in such a way that they're able to perform their functions, and so we will continue to have those conversations, and we'll continue to ensure that they are available for the people of Alberta.